Assalamu alaikum everyone. In today's episode, we delved into the common issues of exam stress and provided some practical tips and solutions to overcome it. However, that's not all. Our hosts had some fantastic insights to share too. We shed light on how to shift our focus when feeling stressed. We shared some useful tips on the keys to becoming a great public speaker, and we also went through the incredible benefits of isolation. This episode is packed with valuable information, tips, and tricks that you wouldn't want to miss. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at the Castronics for the latest updates. So sit back, relax, and grab your favorite snack as we dive into this exciting episode.
You are now listening to the Castronics podcast.
Hosted by MBS, Maryam and Hajar.
Weekly episodes are coming up, so stay tuned.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. Welcome back to the Castronics podcast. So today we're going to talk about how to control your emotions in a stressful environment, especially as college students. College life can be overwhelming, and sometimes we find ourselves struggling to manage our emotions. But fear not, today we'll try to give you some tips and tricks to help you cope. So let's get started. How are you guys really doing?
That's my answer every time. I'm fine, with like multiple I's and multiple E's.
I'm actually good considering I had a productive day yesterday. So I woke up good today.
You woke up with a sense of fulfillment. The worst thing is when that sense does not continue. So you have it for one day and it stops.
But the thing is, it never continues. You can't just have a full week full of
Productivity.
You can have that, okay, if you wanted to. But
You have the discipline and not any willpower to stay consistent. then
The
you will-
ambition.
it's a habit.
It's hard to keep habits.
It's a discipline habit. It's hard to keep habits.
So as you know, in this period, we have a lot of tests coming up for a lot of students. Test ones and all sorts of examinations. And I think and I believe that the feeling of stress is getting higher and higher every day. So now, what are your practical steps to avoid stress or at least decrease it in the time being?
Step 1, not procrastinate.
Right.
Cry, yes.
Not procrastinating is not a thing.
It's not a thing, but some
Yes.
people actually don't procrastinate. Can you believe it?
Discipline people.
Yeah, disciplined people, which I don't know.
I feel attacked. Thank you very much. So one thing I learned was from a lady. We're not going to get into that anyways. A lady told me that procrastination and perfectionism go both ways. Same side? No, the different sides, one coin.
They go in pairs, but they're opposite.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
So like if you do procrastination, it means you're a perfectionist.
If you procrastinate, then you're a perfectionist.
Yes.
How
How's
does
that?
that
In a
relate?
very bad way. Okay, so as a person who just found out they're perfectionist, how it goes is I'm like, okay, so I have a task. So this task needs to have this, and that. And in order to have this, and that, you need to do this, and that also. And to do these, you need to do other things. So it all needs to be perfect. So why do I need to do anything? I don't want to do anything. I'm not doing anything. And then I don't do anything. And then I never finish the thing I started. That's basically how I procrastinate. Again,
Okay. So
Okay.
so if I get it, in your case, being a perfectionist actually brings you down or slows you down because since you have so many requirements to complete a certain task,
I
you end up-
overwhelm myself.
you
So
end
I
up not
don't.
doing it because one of the conditions is not met.
Most of the conditions are not because I want everything to be perfect. I have an image in my brain and it needs to be the exact same thing. If it doesn't, if I know that or if I tell myself that it's never going to be the same thing, so why bother putting the effort in to do anything when it's not going to be the same thing I imagined? You know what I mean?
But then now for you, is it more important to complete the task correctly or to just achieve it? Or let me rephrase it. Is it more important to you to achieve the tasks excellently and correctly or just to have it completed?
So after the procrastination, I reach a point where I'm going to fail, so I need to finish it. So then I end up doing something very bad and just submitting and hating myself for it.
Interesting.
And then I keep thinking I could have done better if I started doing it earlier. But then I never start earlier because I want everything to be perfect. So the solution is I need to understand that nothing is perfect, no matter what you do, because
It's a vicious
the only
cycle.
perfect thing is Allah. So nothing else is perfect, no matter what you do. There's always going to be that one thing that's out of place, and I need to accept that. I'm working on it, but that's procrastination for me.
As they say, ما حد كامل والكمال لله.
Exactly.
So nobody's perfect and only Allah is perfect.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I can't reach, because perfection is not real. We put standards so high, and we know we're not going to reach them because nothing is perfect. But then the thing is, when you put standards, you can. So what I know is, so when I put, now that I put standards, I know when I put them high, I'll still reach high, but I won't reach them. But then it'll still be high, the thing I did. Do you know what I mean? So like,
It's going to be higher than what you
so
think.
if I, for example, if I put something and I'm like, I want to reach 100, I'll probably reach 80, which is very good. But like, if you do, I'll reach 50, and you reach 50, you still reached 50.
So you always need to put your bar up high for you to achieve.
But don't be hard on yourself if you don't achieve it, because no, you're never going to achieve. Not never, but mostly it's not going to be achieved, but you're going to achieve something great because you're doing.
See, the goal is to be on the way. You're never going to get to the end.
Yes.
Because nobody's perfect, as you said. So I think what's important in that case is to achieve most of the things you wanted.
Yeah.
Not the entirety
Most
of it.
is better than all, and most is better than none.
There you go.
That's true.
But I don't do that.
Why not?
So I keep telling myself that. I don't know. It's okay.
You know, it's kind
It's
of
life is up
interesting.
and down. It's a curve.
So last semester, I had this mindset of perfectionism, where you have to like allocate tasks for the day, and you have to finish them. If you don't finish them, you do not have a
Yes, you have a
productive
memo
day.
that I'm scared of.
So basically, I have a
Haunts
like
me
a
every day.
small notebook, and I use it for to do tasks every day. I have one day, I fill it with tasks. I like actually fill it up with so many tasks. But now this semester, I'm using less tasks, and I'm still. Although I'm not finishing all the tasks, but at least I'm feeling productive about it.
Because you have a visual
I
presentation
changed my
of...
mindset.
See, one thing that I like to do for myself is to have a visual representation of the tasks that I'm accomplishing.
What does that mean?
So,
What is that?
on my phone, I have an app. So, you have the Samsung app, which is the reminders.
Yes.
And if it's synced correctly, you can sync it with your Microsoft To Do and your
Yes.
Apple's reminders as well.
Yes.
So what it does is, whenever you want to do something, write it on the reminder. So it shows up like a line with a box, with a checkbox next to it. And whenever you accomplish something, you click on it and then it checks it. So when you go back to your completed tasks at the end of the day, you see over 20 tasks that you had to do and that you completed. That helps me feel more fulfilled because I know exactly what I did and what I have left to do. You see?
Oh, that's the same thing as the to-do list, but yours is digital.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Thing is, it works for you because it's digital. I like to write my things. I like to plan on my paper.
Like, what's it called? Scratch? No.
Oh yeah, it's satisfying.
Yeah, to cancel the
Yeah.
thing I did, or like do a check.
For me, it's satisfying when I see the animation of it disappearing. So it's literally the same.
Are you an iPad kid?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. But I find it more convenient to use the phone because you can carry the phone everywhere you go and on your laptop.
I carry my.
You always have your phone in your pocket, but you don't always have your notebook. Is that right?
No, I always have my note.
I
You always
have
do.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Because I
But
don't.
when I go out, I keep my personal life and my study life and like social life is separate. So basically, when I have my notebook, it means I'm coming here to study. If I don't have my notebook, I'm here to socialize. It's different.
So, as we said, one of the solutions to avoid stress is to become more productive throughout by setting up reminders, by avoiding procrastination, which is in itself a problem. If you guys remember back when we talked about having a schedule, see, planning out your day, again, I hate to repeat it, but planning out your day actually helps you a lot in avoiding procrastination. Now, the problem is not there. The problem is actually completing these tasks. Because at the time, maybe you're going to be busy or you're going to watch something or you just don't have your mind into the thing you want to accomplish. And I think that's the biggest problem that is yet to solve.
I think you have to put your schedule around the tasks that you have, like not around what you want to watch and what's your entertainment. Because like, how does that work?
I work on a different mindset.
How does your mindset work?
You plan out your day around your hobbies, but with a limit, obviously.
Okay.
So it's not, I want to play all day, I want to go out all day. That does not work because at the end you have responsibilities as well.
So like you allocate time for your hobbies. Okay, wait, of course you're going to allocate time for like, you know.
Not too much, but keep one hobby that you want to do for sure and leave it as like the gratification method for your activities. I'm going to give an example. For me, it's the gym, for example. If I know that my day went well and as I wanted it to be and it was productive, I go to the gym. So for me, that's the reward that I get at the end.
So is it like a by default or like is it the reward when you're productive?
It's both.
Okay.
So here's the thing.
You got him.
I do it. I do it on a regular basis. So it's already on my schedule.
Mm-hmm.
However, I feel better or I perform better if I go to the gym when I know that my day went well.
You feel relaxed.
It's hard to explain, but there you go.
I feel like she attacked you.
not. You're like,
No, I did not take it personally. It's totally fine. That was good for me to know.
For my controlling of emotions, what I used to do was meditation. Not meditation, but like
NLP on the way.
yes, no. So like it's the breathing techniques. When you're in stressful situations, I had this thing where I was panicking about something, and then I was talking to someone else about it, but like they were a professional. So lady was like, okay, Mariam, you need to breathe. And then they started to change the focus of my brain from like the thing I was panicking about to like, what are you seeing right now? Close your eyes. What did you see? So you change your brain. So if you're stressing or having a panic attack or something like that, just change your focus to something else. I think they do this with people, with panic attacks and stuff. So like if you see someone having a panic attack, you try to change their focus from the thing they're panicking about to something else.
Channel the energy to a different activity.
Yes. The brain, the thoughts, channel the thoughts differently. Reroute till they calm down, and then you can go back to the thing they were doing. So for example, you focus on other senses. So you're thinking and stuff, but then what do you smell right now? Tell me something green you see, maybe like a color, like be specific. That shows that if you're stressing and stuff, just change focus, do something different. And then once you're calm, just go back to the thing. Go from another door.
In practice. So let's take the example of you have exams coming up and you need to review. So you need to study.
Yes.
So if we apply what you say is, for example, I'll be studying math. Let's take a very simple example. I'll be studying math and then I'm suddenly stuck. Or I have a brain blockage.
Change. Stop.
In that case, I'm gonna stop studying math and take another subject.
No.
Why not?
Depends on the person.
Not
Don't
directly.
continue because you have a brain blockage.
Just take a break for a little bit and then you can go back to the math.
For me, I see the taking break part as a waste of time. See?
Oh.
Instead of taking break, go study something else. So at least this time is valued.
My brain will still be thinking about the problem.
But like
Don't.
it depends.
Free it.
I need to turn off my brain and then start it again. Like turn off the math department, if I could say, and then regroup.
For me, the way I see it is if you change subjects and go study something else, you'll give time to your brain to focus on the thing you're doing right now. And at the same time, there's a part of your brain that's going to think about the problem that is still not solved. So in that time, your brain will give a potential solution to it. Don't you have those aha moments, when you're studying and like all of a sudden you'll be like, oh, I found the solution to this, you see? Because at that point, you were not focusing on that problem, but your mind was much more open and thinking about something else.
It's a positive way of regrouping, stopping and regrouping, like rerouting. This is a very positive and efficient way of rerouting. I reroute by doing something totally different. I like to turn off my brain, basically. Not turn off, but like stop the thinking for a little bit. I
Do a
think of
different
my brain as
activity.
like, it's overheating. So I'm like, okay, we need to stop, relax, do something. Maybe I go eat, or like I watch like something. I just stare into nothingness or talk to someone. I usually change the muscle that's working, if you get what I mean. Change
understand,
completely. Like I'm like, okay, stop. We go do something totally different. Then we come back to it later.
It's fine that you say that, but I value the factor of time way too much. I hate to
Time is
waste.
money.
Yeah, I hate wasting time. So your solution is great, and I think what I did is just valuing much more.
Yours is more efficient, 100%.
I usually wouldn't study another subject. If I have a brain blockage, then it's a brain blockage for all subjects. For me, I would probably, if I'm stuck on something, I would probably doubt myself and start thinking, if I found the solution in the end and I didn't think of it, I would be like, why did I not think of that? And then I'd start doubting myself. And that's when a whole chain of overthinking starts. So what I do is basically take a break, and I either sit in the balcony and just stare at the view, calms down, or journal, or read.
To free up your mind.
Change
Yeah.
the muscle you're
Change.
the
or
muscle.
go on a walk. Yeah, I used to do that.
Going to walk is very generic. I don't think it works for everyone.
It doesn't work for everyone, but it works for me.
When I was in Egypt, so I had classes at 2 a.m. from 2 to 4, then 5 to 7.
I don't know how you coped with online.
Let me
but
tell you.
I did not know how to survive 2 weeks of it.
I was like kind of depressed. I don't know. I was confused. Anyways, so I think I said that before, where I go on a run,
Yeah.
which
Take
is
a
not
lap
a run.
in
Which
the
is
house.
not a run. But I think that was also restarting my brain.
That's to avoid sleep, you said.
And I think it also works with changing stuff, because what I remember was I go to signals and systems, and I'd finished another subject before it. So my signals and systems was from 5 to 7, and I liked that subject, and I wanted to be focused on it. So I needed like to be awake and my brain fully functioning. So I think what I called running, which is not running, was beneficial, because it stopped my brain from thinking in the engineering way or the retaining info to something else, to running. Or I think I would listen to stuff or think about stuff, or maybe I would be texting people, and it restarts it, so I'm ready for the next thing with more energy and more focus.
When you were talking about taking a break is a waste of time, let me tell you a story. One of my friends is actually in graphic design, okay? And she had a deadline, and she was supposed to finish the design. It was given at the start of the semester, I think. I'm not really sure about that. But a week before submission, she had a brain fog, okay? She was dealing with some stuff, and she was going through some stuff. She wasn't able to have the creative mind to work on it with her best.
Mental ability.
Yeah, exactly. So what she did was she took a rest, and she fully isolated herself from university, and she fully isolated herself from the assignment, and she was like, you know what, I'm not thinking about that. I'm not gonna think about it. I'm not gonna do anything, no brainstorming, nothing. She took a break for 4 days, 3 days before the deadline. She was like, okay, I'm now ready to fully do everything. She did 2 designs, one at the start of the week and one 3 days before the assignment was due. The lecturer, what do you think, which design did he accept?
Second one.
I'm going to take the second one.
Yeah, exactly. That's the second one. Why? Because she was fully
She was
prepared.
ready.
She was fully prepared for it. She had the mental and the creative mind. So what she told me at the time, I was stressing out because I had finals and it was online. And at the time, I was friends with people who they had different timings. You know, their university was ending and they were having fun, they were having holidays and stuff, and I was having my finals still. So I wanted to go out, but at the same time I had finals. So I was stressing out about that. What should I go out? Should I like stay in and study?
Priorities.
Exactly, priorities. So I was calling her and she was asking me how I was doing, and I was like, I'm stressing out. And then she told me the story. I was like, damn.
So did you go out at the end?
Actually, I did go out 3 days before a final exam because at this point I was too stressed out and I wasn't able to like retain any information. So it was useless to study. So I went out and I came back and then I was thinking about it and I was like, yeah, let's study. And I
See,
studied.
as much as we like to say that humans can multitask, you should remember that your brain can only do one task at a time. So if you look carefully in your activities, you're going to notice that the best work you've done were at the times when your brain was only focusing on that specific task because it was all freed up. Think of it like a RAM memory. You see your laptop? When your RAM is free, totally free, your software runs the most smooth. And when it's busy with some other tasks and a lot of background softwares, it runs a bit.
Like.
How did you system your brain to not say like or
IGCSEs.
Bro, IGCSEs.
I think about the sentences carefully.
Look,
I think before I
He's
say
old.
something. And when I say something, I say it slowly so I have time to process my information.
How do you process while talking?
I blank.
صح? Same.
You get used to it, I
Whatever
think.
comes out, معرفش جا منين.
I have a whole paragraph, but it's scattered in my brain.
And you use the word like in them.
I use like to connect them.
So try saying the paragraph while thinking carefully about the next word. I don't know, it's weird because if you notice how I speak, I usually speak slowly at the beginning, and then towards the end of the sentence, I tend to go faster because now I have my ideas around.
Uh-huh.
So, for example, I'd say, I want to go to the next bus stop because I need to do this and that. See, the end is faster and the beginning is slower. So if you take a slow beginning, you have time to process the words you want to say, and then you can connect them easier.
Were you in Toastmaker?
I was not in Toastmasters.
You would make a very good MC.
I've actually been MC for the first time 3 weeks ago, and for the second time the next day.
Where?
It was so the first
Iftar.
time was at the ISIS Central Iftar, and the second time was the Global Buddies.
Oh yeah, the Global Bodies.
Hajar was there, and I liked it honestly. Being an MC is actually easy.
I want to
It's
try.
very easy.
I want to try. Nobody wants to give me an
One thing though, you gotta be careful. See, I said one thing though, you need to befriend the people you're gonna talk to. So it's easier to talk to
Hey, break dice.
It's easier to talk to a large group of friends than a bunch of
Strangers.
So what I used to do is, I actually read this tip online, but it actually worked for me. So what is it? Before being an MC, before going on stage, go and say hi to everyone and ask them what they're doing, how's their day, what are their expectations for today, and you know exactly how to convey the information.
Oh my god, that's so
So,
smart.
Does
for
picturing
example-
everyone naked work for you?
So for example,
I never tried.
there was this guy I talked to, he said, I expect this night to be very fun, very active and lots of energy. That's exactly what I did. I tried to put in some energy so he feels comfortable. And when they feel comfortable, you see humans have a facial language. So I know when I see you, I know that you're comfortable. And you know when you see me, you know that I feel comfortable as well. So when I see that the crowd is comfortable, I get comfortable as well. It makes the rest much more easier.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You see what I mean?
Body language.
about energy.
So body language and letting your brain process the words can help you a lot in your speech. Anyway, that was a tangent.
So, my question now is: did isolation help your friend in her creativity? Because throughout the times and the generations and like what we hear about other stories is when people go into loneliness or isolate themselves, what's it called? Seclusion. It helps them do better, or it helps them become better at what they're doing. For example, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to like go to
غار حراء.
Ghar Hira. Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam went to Jabal Tur.
When he was revealed by Allah to...
Sayyidina Zakaria alayhi salam.
He used to go to the temple.
لا تكلم الناس ثلاثة ليال سوية.
That's true. That's a good example, actually.
My question here is, does that mean that isolation, or like being alone for a little bit, optimize everything? So my brain is now, am I doing it wrong? Should I try doing stuff alone? However, I'm not that comfortable with being alone, with Maryam alone, I think.
The question is why?
Why what?
Why are you not comfortable?
Oh, because I'm too scared. I found that out.
Are you scared of your own thoughts?
Yes.
There you go. But
I'm
the thing
too
is...
scared of thinking about things and like what I used to have. Like, the thing is, I would talk to myself like I'm talking to someone in a mall normally. During COVID, I would do that all the time and it was fine with me. And I would be speaking to myself like I'm talking to someone else, and I'm just, oh, people think I'm crazy, but it's fine. And I don't know, somehow I stopped doing that, and somehow I'm now uncomfortable with being alone, but I'm working on it. So that's why I'm trying to do more solo trips and more solo things.
The way I see isolation is like a factory reset for your brain. So you go alone, you separate yourself from the world, and your brain tries to see, or it's kind of a retrospection, if you get what I mean. So your brain tries to see what went wrong and what led you to this situation you're in. That's why even if you look at a lot of the inventions that were invented, it's from people who stayed alone for quite some time. Not total isolation, because obviously you need to deal with people daily.
But like alone.
But yeah, most of the time they would stay alone and they would be left to their own thoughts. That's when your creativity increases, because now your brain has more room to think about itself and think about ways to enhance your life in a certain way. Because when you're around people, your creativity or your mind is fogged with the thought of people looking at you or people having a certain influence on you. Meanwhile, when you're alone, these details disappear.
I like how you put that.
So, going back to like dealing with stressful situations, does being alone decrease these moments of stress and panic, or does it increase them?
It depends on the situation.
I think they mostly do decrease them.
They do decrease
because, like,
mostly.
The solutions are like,
it depends.
For my solutions, it's do sports, breathe and meditate, and change the scene. So that all basically is summarized in stop doing everything, do something else, be alone. So does that mean that being alone positively is very good for people and I'm avoiding it and I need to do it more?
Tabana, I have a question. What if you're being stressed out and you're alone? How are you going to change the scene? You're still going to be alone.
Talk to people. See?
Oh, so you're going to socialize.
No, if you're so I think my solution would be, you try it. If you're alone and you're stressing, changing the scene is speaking to someone. It's just like if you're standing, sit. If you're sitting, stand. Change.
So
do
changing
something.
the whole setting.
But change something.
That
something needs to
work for
change.
everyone. Because
that's why it's different types of change, because different people have different brains.
Good point.
You see, to change, for someone, it means it's either leave people and be alone, or if you're alone, be with people. For another one, it's stop doing what you're doing and do something else. For another, it's like if you're sitting, stand. If you're sitting, standing, sit.
It all comes down to where the solution lies. If the solution is in the activity itself, then change the activity. If the solution is in your environment, change the environment. If the solution is in the people around you, change the people around you. It's as simple as that.
There was a saying you can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you.
It makes
What does that mean?
sense. Oh, okay. So you can change the people, but you can move to other people. You can't change the group.
You can't change the people themselves,
I see.
but you can change
go
the
to
people.
other people.
Oh, makes sense. You don't have to be alone though. So, I mean, if you have people around you, you don't have to be alone to fix that problem.
Yeah.
But you can move to another group of people.
I do
That's
that.
what you mean.
But thing is, with having hyper independency, okay, I don't know if that's the right word for it, but being hyper independent.
It's my first time coming across it, so I'll discover it from you. What does that mean?
Okay. So,
What is hyper independency?
hyper?
Does that mean you literally need no one to live with? That's kind of...
No. Being hyper independent is basically not depending on anyone for anything, not depending on anyone for any solutions.
At all?
At all.
Is that even possible?
It is
not
possible.
Because remember, we're
It's
humans.
not healthy though.
It's not good.
We're humans. We're social creatures.
Yes.
We need the people around us.
That's why it's not healthy.
Exactly.
It's an extreme. Again, any extreme is not good.
There you go.
So anything that's hyper or the opposite of hyper that I don't know because I'm illiterate. Any extreme is not good. So keep that in mind.
I wasn't born into it, but I was systematically programmed to how to deal with it. I would usually deal with my own emotions alone. I would usually deal with my own problems alone, even when I was around my family. So growing up, I would usually depend on my own self for solutions, for control, how to control my own emotions. I didn't grow up depending on someone. It's systematic, and it's in my brain. It's engraved in my brain. Now, being an adult, it's hard to ask for help, and it's hard to be around people. When I'm having a problem, I usually isolate myself, and when the problem is solved, I'm like, oh, hi.
Hello again.
Hello again. Yeah, exactly. I'm not the type to go for someone to ask for help. I'm trying not to do it because it's very toxic and it's very unhealthy. But not everything you can solve on your own. Not everything you can find a solution on your own. You're going to need help at some point, and you're going to have to ask for it. You're going to have the courage to ask for it.
So the gist of it, first of all, don't procrastinate. Take some time alone.
Know why you're procrastinating. If you're procrastinating, just dig into the reason. Keep asking yourself why.
Getting to the root of every problem helps you solve it.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to know the why to know the how.
Very interesting. This marks the end of the episode. I hope it was informative, helpful, and that you were able to relate with our experiences. And if one solution didn't work, now you've got 3 to try. And see you on the next one. Assalamu alaikum.
Bye-bye.
Bye.